Okay, mic test. Can you guys hear me okay? All right, super. And you can see my screen okay? All right, so I'll get started if you'd like me to get rolling, Morgan. Is that cool? All right, well, anyway, thanks a lot for everybody being here today. Looks like we've got a great room. So this is a pretty cool event. So this is history in the making, so I'm very fortunate to be a part of it. So I'll get started. One second here. Let me. All right, so let me put out the old disclaimer. So, this is, purely educational today. So anything that I'm saying as far as trades and stuff and setups, this is just for educational purposes only. And I'm not giving you any recommendations or advice. So take this strictly as educational use. I'm also going to do something here today, a little bit something different. I'm going to have a raffle. So if you can put I'll give you the URL. It's right here, powercycletrading.com/RAF. And let me get you the URL on that. Whoops, hold on. Let's see here. Where do I put that? Trying to maneuver through this to put this in the box. Gosh, I'm not that familiar with. Let's see. I'm not sure if I can. Let's see. Oh, here it is. Okay, sorry. There. Okay, here it is. So if you want to take that URL, just copy it and paste it. And then what I'm doing is I'll have a raffle. And so as soon as this is over, I'll go through and we'll have a drawing. And so all you have to do is put your name, your email address in there. And what I'm going to raffle off is we have 3 core systems that we use for our trading. They're all based on the same model, but they're all geared for a little bit different things. Like, for example, we'll have the day trading system for futures. We have a day trading system for stocks, ETFs, and a day trading system for swing trading. So if you'll just put your name and email address in here, we'll have a drawing and we'll send you the winner. We'll get our complete course, which is $497 on my website, powercycletrading.com. And you can use this cycle model. It's what I'm going to go through today to show you our trade setups, and hopefully maybe we'll find a good trade. So it's what we use, and go from there. So if you can, take advantage of it, powercycletrading.com/RAFF, and there's a URL to make it a little bit easier. Oh, you're getting an error with that one? Yikes. So just try powercycletrading.com/RAF. Yeah, cool. All right, so, and also if you have any further questions or anything, feel free to contact me at support@powercycletrading.com. So that being said, let me switch over to my other screen here. Get rid of this. And okay, so let me widen this out. So what we're going to be looking at here, just a little background on me. I've been trading for over 30 years. I ran one of the larger trading companies, oil trading companies, ran their trading group for over 10 years out of Bermuda. And so I've been involved in trading options and stocks, and well, options, futures, all the different commodities for a long time. So a lot of background in oil and everything else. But if you'd like to read more about me, please just go to my website and you can check me out. So what we're going to look at today is our cycle model. And, this time of day, markets can kind of go sideways and kind of churn, basically waiting for, the close. So, if you've been trading, there's the open and there's the close. So let me try to get things set up here so you can have a good visual. So as a trader, you want to be selective, and you want to also be patient with your trading. So just because you're sitting at your desk doesn't mean that you have to be trading, but you want to be observing, and you want to look at setups, and you want to be patient and wait for those setups to happen. So that's what we're going to do. So if there's not a trade, there's not a trade. I'm not going to force a trade, but I'm going to show you how we go about our trades. So I'm going to pull up the system. Now, I'm not going to tell you everything about our system. I'm going to show you the visual of our system because it is proprietary, but you're welcome to the system. And one of you guys will win that raffle, so you'll get all the information on the system in that course. So let me just kind of get this set up here. Okay, so yeah, we're getting there. Now I need to just expand this out. And let me shrink this down a little bit. This is not exactly how I have it set up on my monitors. I'll have 3 monitors, but this will give you a good idea. So let me get organized here for 2 seconds. Uh-oh, something happened there. Oh. Are you guys seeing me okay? Oh, wait a minute. Okay, got it. I got a lot going on here trying to get this thing fixed. Okay, well, now I'm on my other monitor making sure that I can see any questions that come up. Okay. All right, so one last thing I need to do. Okay, so all right, so you guys, can you see my screen here? So you should be seeing 4 charts. Okay. Okay. I had one. Okay, the charts. Okay, somebody said charts too complicated. Well, it's all in what you see in the charts. So what you're going to see is a lot of information, but what we teach you is how to use this information. So what we do is we will day trade and we will swing trade, and we will use the same trading model that you see here. Now the top, one step at a time, the top 2 charts is what we use for day trading. We have a lot of information in here because day trading, there are a lot of different elements involved, different support zones, support resistance zones. So in this upper model here, we'll have Fibonacci levels. This is a Fibonacci level here. We'll have prior days trading range, which you can see here. This is the prior days. Let me show you. Let me just get a bigger screen here. I want to kind of lay out the charts so you know what we're looking at, and then I'll monitor some things. What I usually do in our trading room, we have a virtual trading room. It opens at 8 Central in the morning and closes at 3. So we'll tend to monitor futures. We'll look at gold futures, crude futures, NASDAQ 100, and then also we'll look at the various options for the underlyings such as Apple, Google, whatever's moving, and we'll look at that. If there's a day trade or something like that, we'll look at a stock or an ETF. But primarily just looking for the action. We're going to be following futures throughout the day, looking for setups. So here's this we use multiple time frames, but this is a 400 tick chart that we use. And I'm just going to show you some of the support resistance zones that we have. And this is all automated. So everything you see here on this chart is automated. I don't have to do anything. And this is based on our model, but everything's automated. And if I had a bigger layout, you could see it a lot more clearly, which I can do that. I'll just open this up here. Okay. So now you should see just one chart. Now this is for our day trading model, okay? And what you're seeing here, like this green line here, that's the prior day's high. And then I can scroll this up here and you'll see the prior day's low way down here, right down here. And then you'll see the prior day's open, or close, excuse me, this is the close. And then you'll see the open, which is up here. So let me rescale this. Okay, so now what we're seeing here is we also have Fibonacci-based pivot extensions, and these are all based on Fibonacci levels. And so, these are different, we call these resistance zones and support zones, and it's based off a pivot point. And so down here we have our pivot, and then based on Fibonacci extensions, we will give a resistance 1, and then we'll have, and these are color coded, resistance 2 up here, and way up here it's resistance 3. So this is our outer bound, our real extreme. And sometimes you blow through these extremes, and then we automatically calculate additional Fibonacci levels. So this is what we use for the day trading. Now we won't have these levels in for the other time frames. This is just for the shorter term time frames. And then as you can see here, we also have automated trend lines. I'm a big user of trend lines. So here's a trend line, automated. And we teach a way to develop your trend lines. We go from the right side of your chart, most current price, take your pivot high, then go up and find your next pivot high, and then we automate that trend line down. Now we also have on this model certain setups which when they're identified, we'll have an arrow click to point it out. And these are based on candle patterns. So we'll have those that'll pop up and tell us various things. And then we have some of the other visual indicators. And the thing that's cool about our system, it's all color-coded as well. Now it's adapted for the Thinkorswim platform. And this is based on ThinkScript language. So we have this color-coded, so when you see the background is red, that means the parameters of our model are telling you that the probability of the price direction is more to the downside than the upside. So it just kind of gives you that alert. We also have audio alerts to do the same thing, which you can turn off and on. Now, if this chart's too busy for you, you can turn off the various parts of it, and you can use the parts that you want to use. But once you get used to what these particular pieces of information are, you're going to probably want to keep them on your chart if you're day trading. So we also have what we call compression, volatility compression breakout indicators. So you can see here we're currently in a volatility compression squeeze, and it started right here where this dot comes up, and that was about 11:21 Central, And we've been in this squeeze for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 bars. And when we're in a squeeze, the other great thing about this system is when you're in a volatility compression squeeze, you don't want to trade, because if you're trying to trade this, you're just trading for the broker. Okay? You're giving up bid ask, and you're not making any money. So what we're going to do, what we want to look for, we look for what we call cycle high trades, like this. Goes up, you can see it's cycle high, and it starts rolling over. See the indicators start rolling over, and we start breaking some other indicators that we have, and we will base our trading on these indicators. Now, a lot of this is automated, but when it comes down to actually pulling the trigger, that's going to be discretionary for the trader, because there are different ways to use this particular model. Some people like to do a cycle high trade right here, and you could look at shorting right here. Others like compression volatility squeeze, so you might just sit here waiting for this break up or down. And our model will also, with the lower part of the model, will tell you, indicate the direction of the potential break to the squeeze, if it's up or down. So if we just go back here, earlier today, we had a couple of really good gold trades early, and we had a couple of NQ trades early, but the market opened up, went up, and then they tend to make their move early on the open, and then they go sideways. So here's a here's a gold. We caught this trade right here. You can see gold started the squeeze right here at 8 o'clock Central. So this is what we call volatility compression squeeze. This is gold. This is GC, and this is the December contract. Okay? December contract on gold. So this particular gold contract started a squeeze right here at 8 o'clock Central. Use your X-ray vision, yeah. Have other people been able to get into the raffle to enter their name and send it in? Nobody's able to? Yes, one, no, yes, yes. I tell you what, if you'd like, just also go ahead and just send your name over through support@powercycletrading.com, and we'll add those to it as well. So in the subject line, just put raffle. So if you want to do it that way, just put in powercycletrading.com or support@powercycletrading.com, and in the subject matter, just put in raffle or RAFF, and then we'll add you in, and we'll tally it up. And since there's so many on the call here today, I'm going to give away. I'm going to give away 4. I'm going to make it 4 winners. How does that sound? Instead of 1, we're going to have 4 winners. Okay. So if you can't get in, just go to support@powercycletrading.com, and the subject line put RAFF or raffle, and you'll get that. Now, also with that, you're going to also get, I'm going to give you, you'll get 2 weeks in that package. You get 2 weeks in our virtual trading room, and you'll get our daily aftermarket outlook, which is a video newsletter. It comes out every day. So you're going to get a lot of great information, and then you'll get this model course, how to use the model. Okay, so going back here, so you can see gold was in a compression squeeze for a long time, from 8 o'clock Central until 9. So for 1 hour here, you don't want to trade. If we didn't have this compression breakout indicator here to identify that you're in a squeeze, if you've been trying to trade on on a different methodology or whatever, you might make some money here on it going down and going up, but you're going to probably get chopped around. So one of the best ways to do this is then just wait, and what we'll do is we'll look for the trigger, and you can see the bottom part of our model is showing that the cycle is starting to move up. So what I'll do a lot of times is I'll either put a bid in here above this breakout zone. See, this is a Fibonacci extension level right here. So what I'll usually do is I'll look to capture this move right on the break, and usually I'll have an OCO order, which is one cancels the other type order. And for gold, I'll set it at like a 10 to 15 tick profit and a 10 tick stop. So when it breaks, what I'm looking for is I'll capture that 10 tick profit, which is $100 a contract, or if I set it for 15, that's 150. And then if I'm wrong, see the screen just turned green here? So we're starting to get a little bit of a break on this trend line. We're into this volatility squeeze right here, compression squeeze. We're breaking the trend line. The purple dots also indicate the probability of this break is to the upside. You can see the indicators are shifting to the upside. So right here, you could have bought it right here for a little bit of a scalp, and then you're coming in right here. This midpoint here is another indicator that we use. This is the opening range bar that we calculate. It's a certain percentage of a range on the open. So I like to use these because there are a lot of algorithmic systems that take these various different times of day, the trading ranges, and they will trade off breaks of these ranges. So you'll notice here we have the green always is a color code for a high. Red is always a color code that we use for a low. Yellow is always a color code for what we use as a midpoint or a close. So a lot of systems, you can see here, they came down. The C-word price came down here, and it held right at this high. So this is a algorithmic high that we use based on a certain percentage range of the open. And you can see how it nailed it, stopped here, came back up, and this is a midpoint of another trading range. So you say there's a lot of stuff in here. Well, there is. But if you're going to be successful trading, day trading, you want to know where the market potentially can stop and where it can stop on the downside, stop on the upside. Markets just don't go straight down, straight up. That'd be really great if they did, but they don't. So, we try to, scalp 40, 50, 100, $200 a contract. Some trades are going to be better than others. Now, this is another thing that we like to use. These are called Heikin-Ashi candles. And they're also, not only do they identify the price range, but they also identify trend. So you can see there that we call this an unshaven top and unshaven. See how it trends? So that's a solid trend down on gold. Now this also caught this short earlier. I got 10 ticks out of that. This trade right here actually went from 1375 all the way down to 1370. That's $500 a contract right there. Now you can see the indicators here on our lower studies had turned down right here when it broke this Fibonacci level. So this is a Fibonacci extension level, and it came up into this midpoint here, broke the Fib extension level, and accelerated down. So you can see, and you can see how our indicators here color-coded when the slope changed to the down, it also turned red. So these are just very visual indicators that we use to show us the information that we need. Now you can see gold is starting to break to potentially the downside. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to flip over to my other chart. And I missed that short right there. See these pivot low extensions? This is where I really like to short. This is the other thing we have. See these pivots? Here's a pivot low. Here's a pivot low here. And see the extension through it? So this is a support level. When the indicators turn down and we break this extension, this is a good time, this is a good place to get short right here, you know, at 13.70.40. And, you know, this was good for $100 contract. So I'm going to keep an eye here on gold, see if it's going to break lower. Got to find my gold. Now, I use TradeStation, actually. It's a little convoluted, but my money's at TradeStation, so I use TradeStation for my trades, you know, for my execution, and I actually use Thinkorswim. Don't tell anybody, for my platform, and you know, I have money there too, but I've been using TradeStation for so long, I just too lazy to switch. So I'm watching gold here. Now you can see here the indicators now are turning back up. So we're getting a little bit of a rally back into this resistance level now. So if we come up here into resistance and we roll back over, I might look to short gold here. So what I'm usually going to do during the day, I will monitor gold, the NASDAQ 100, and crude, you know, just looking for the trades. But right now, just trying to show you the indicators and how we use those. I'm going to flip over to NQ real quick. On my other monitor, I see it starting to pick up a little bit. Oh, yeah. Now, this is what we call a cycle low. You can see this arrow here. This is based on a candle formation here. Indicators turn to the upside. We're breaking through here through these indicators. I'm looking at possible going long NQ right now. I wanted to get long right here, and I missed it, so I'm going to see if it pulls back. So I missed where I wanted to get in. Sorry. So now I'm long NQ right here on this pullback. So what I'm going to be looking for on this trade here, there were a couple of different areas to get in. First would be right here, and that would have been at 30.87. And the other area right would be right here. So 30.87 would be the optimum area to get in. Unfortunately, I didn't get in right there. I got in at 30.8875. What I'm looking for now is this this is probably going to be some resistance. So I'm just going to let it see if we can get through this resistance. What will happen is potentially it'll pull back and then push back up. And I'm going to try to take profit. I'm going to take profit right here. This is a very significant resistance level. So I'm going to put in a order to sell. Uh-oh, I am going to sell maybe right now. See how slow the market is right now. See how it turned to neutral there? The momentum just waned. So I'm out of the trade. I just went ahead and closed that out just because I don't want to, get too focused and stuck on one thing. But when it turned neutral, what's going to probably happen, it's going to probably pull back a little bit, but it should continue on up. So on that trade there, let's see, I pretty much just scratched. I wanted to get in right here at 30.87, and I got in late. I got in right there. So I didn't really have the edge that I wanted. So, but that's an example. You can see here pretty dramatic cycle low. You can see the arrow here. This is a certain formation. So, some traders may have taken the trade right there based on this buying support, this demand zone. We call this demand. So that would have been a good area right there, 30.84, or right in here, 30.86.5, 30.87. Now, different ways to trade, different styles. Some of our traders like to just scalp, keep their capital tight. So here, you have to understand too how a certain contract trades. For example, the NASDAQ will trade in 1 to 2 point increments, and each 1 point is 4 ticks, and each tick is $5 contract. So a typical profit on a NASDAQ contract 100 is going to be about $30 to $40, and for just day trading in and out. Now, the other way to do the trades is if you're more longer term in nature. Right here, this is a cycle low. We'll use a longer term time frame, and when you get a cycle low type setup like you're seeing here, then you just buy, put your stop in. Usually on a NASDAQ, I'll use 8 to 10 ticks, so that's going to be $40 to $50 a contract. You might want to widen that if you want to try to stay in it longer. And then you just trail it, and we have certain indicators that we'll use to trail the stop. So you can see here the trend here has shifted. It's up, but it's now, see these candles, not candles, but see these bars. These are a 133 tick. Now it started to turn green again. You can see the indicators are starting to turn back up. So I think this particular movement is going to be right into this midpoint here. And these are other little fib extension levels right here. So there's some pretty good little resistance here. So earlier in the day, the open was the best trade setup for NQ. We had some good trades right on the open. I'll show you that. Okay, here's the open. I'm shifting back here in time. So you can see coming into today on NQ at it was compression squeeze, which started at 6 o'clock in the morning, AM Central, and triggered right here at 7:45, let's say. Chopped sideways and just started trending higher. And then on the open, got in right on the open. right here. Got in about right there, I believe it was. Caught this trend up, got out right there. See, this is a Fibonacci extension. See how it nailed it? Now, if you didn't have this type of information, you would have probably just held the trade until some other means or method that you had for trailing it out. But with this information, you can, we'll usually take profit before it gets to this point here. Now see here? So it's going back. So if I'd held this trade, then I'd be taking profit now. But I went ahead and got out there. I just saw it pull back. But see, that's a good trade. Now it's breaking to the upside. So you can see how this cycle low turned into a nice trending trade to the upside. Now earlier this morning, like I said, we caught this trade early on the open into this extension of the Fibonacci. This is a Fibonacci-based resistance level that we have calculated automatically. Took profit there. And then I don't have all the, didn't do much after that. Caught a nice gold trade. Caught a couple of good gold trades. So here we are trending, nice trend. Hakanashi, no wick, no wick, no wick, no wick, no wick, no wick, right into this midpoint here. Now the next, clears this level. The next resistance will be this pivot high extension, 30.95. But it's going to probably chop around a little bit sideways here. Now you can see the trend line just came in automatically, automated trend line. See that? And here the automated trend line just got broken to the upside. So a nice cycle, we call this a cycle low trend up. And the next resistance level will be these extensions up here at 30.95. This is on the NASDAQ 100 futures. Let's see here. Let's see what the other things are doing. Apple's down $3. Google's up 3. Netflix is down 94 cents. So I like to monitor the high beta stocks that are moving. Tesla. The other day we did a good put spread on Netflix on Monday. On Tuesday and Wednesday, actually sold puts on Netflix and covered all those in yesterday before the market kind of tanked. Just looking here for other things here. I like the looks of Google. Yesterday I was looking at putting on a put credit spread on that, and then the market's pulled back pretty hard on the close, but I'm still looking at Google. I like the looks of Google. I'll show you that in a second. So here again, here's a nice, you can see the cycle low all the way up. So see how clear and vivid that is? Any questions so far on what you're seeing or anything else if you'd like me to explain? Yeah, these are futures. I can look at options, but there's, for day trading options, you need something to move pretty good. Apple's kind of stuck in a range, 499 up to 502. And, if you're trading futures, you can get in and out a lot faster. I mean, look at this move here. Now I'll put up Apple. Let's look at Apple real quick. Yeah, we'll look at ES. We can look at ES. So see Apple here, it's doing nothing. It's in a compression squeeze right now. But this could offer opportunity if it starts breaking above or below. Now let's look at ES. Cycle low trend on ES, just like in the NASDAQ. So you can see ES, same setup. See the lower studies turned up right here. So this is what we call a cycle low. You get a hard sell down. You come into support. This is a major support area. This is an automated support zone that we automate. It's based on some opening range values that we use, proprietary, that we calculate. These are automated, and look how it nailed it. And then you have a pivot low extension. Comes up here to the Fibonacci. This is another Fibonacci level. Pokes through there, drives up. Here's another Fibonacci level, and here is another major extension based on an opening range value. And now we just got a candle formation to say that this thing might stall out, and that just popped up automated. And then here's the trend lines above. Pivot high extends to the downside. Now ES, right now it's on this fib level, so this is a pretty key level here. It should hold right in here. This trend line, it should be holding right in the support area. This should be support 1650 to 1651. So it may consolidate here. You see the indicators are starting to turn over. So this could be where it's going to break to the downside. Now, I don't trade ES. I prefer to trade the NASDAQ futures. So we can flip it over to the NASDAQ futures. They're going to be pretty similar, but that's what it looks like on ES. I find the NASDAQ is a cleaner trade for me. I mean, unless you're really big, if you're a big fund, you know, you got thousands of contracts and you have to trade the S&P futures. But if you're, you know, smaller retail guys like us, I prefer to trade the NASDAQ 100. So here we have, this is on a shorter time frame. We've got this pattern set up, but that I usually will not pay attention to it. I'm more inclined to look at the longer term time frame, like a 400 tick here. You can see this nailed the bottom, came into our support zone. We had this pattern, which was indicated by this arrow. Our bottom studies turned to the upside, had a nice cycle low all the way up. Now we're into resistance. See, what did I tell you? The pivot high extension, look how it nailed it. I mentioned that a minute ago. So it's paused here at this pivot high extension. Got a trend line here. Now, if this starts rolling over, I might look to take a short on NQ. And let's see what gold's doing. Gold, this late in the day, gold starts getting a little bit slow. Volume starts. Okay, see the background colors shifted to neutral, so it's starting to lose a little momentum. That's an indication of that. So I wasn't even watching. I was watching my other monitor, and I saw that out of the corner of my eye. Just watching NQ here. See it sitting on this extension hot. This was a pivot low extension, but see how it's just resting on that. And so now it's got a lot of support in here. So I'm not really too keen to short it because you cleared this. This is some pretty decent support in here. So what it may do is if it rolls back over, the indicators are still up pretty hard, but it could roll back over and move back down, or it's just going to maybe consolidate here and take the next push back towards yesterday's high. See, this is yesterday's high. So if I get a little bit more, see how the slope here is changing? I may look to take a short and put a stop right here at 30.95. If it breaks this midpoint here, this extension, I'm going to probably take a short, and then I'll put a stop up around 30.95. 3 points, that's 20, 40, $80. Let's see how it's holding in here. This is another Fibonacci level. And here's a, this was another really good setup down here below. If you look where it came into support zone here, we also had a compression squeeze on the 133. So this was a, 30.85 right here when it triggered that. You can see it triggered here. Nice move to the upside. So I'm watching gold on my other monitor as well. No, on the futures, I just sell the futures or buy the futures. On the stocks and ETFs, I'll use the options. So when I'm trading SPY or Apple, whatever that is, I always use the options usually and prefer the weekly options. Okay, I'm watching it closely here. Might take a short. Just still watching. So yeah, it's just, I mean, this time of day, these markets can sit, and then all of a sudden they'll make a move. But when you have a hard sell down, this was a beautiful cycle low trade that we call that. And we have another tool that we use while I'm just sitting here watching this thing. I'm also watching gold. We have another tool that we have developed. It's our scanner, and we can scan for these compression type setups. If you guys would like to see that, I can show it to you real quick. I've got it. I can pull it up. It's really cool. So you're seeing a lot of problems with option pricing. I haven't looked at the prices. Let me look at the Apple just options. So Apple right now is $4.99. The wow. Oh yeah, they're it's really, hold on, man, it's really messed up here. Oh, what's that looking at? Wow. Yeah, there's a major problem here. Look at these. Yeah, there's definitely a huge problem. Huh. Crazy. Yeah, I'm not kidding. I'm looking at my TradeStation option station, and there's no bid ask, and you can see how wide it is here on Apple. Um, yeah, I don't know what's going on, but there's definitely a problem. So much for trading options. Um, did you say that they stopped? Nasdaq is down too? Wow. So, all right. All right. So I will show you. Help. Well, oh, well, it looks like it's still trading, but the options are definitely messed up. So I'm not. It's a little bit confusing. I have no idea why it's halted. Let me show you why we're kind of in this limbo phase. I'll show you the scanner that we use. Now this is also something we've developed, and this is a matrix, and it's based on our trading model. A second here. Nasdaq trading being reset. What's that? 12:14, 11:14. Well, we're still getting data coming through here on the tick, so it's trading now. Okay, I'm gonna look at gold here. I'm just trying to find. Whoa. Ah, shoot. Okay, we're in squeeze. I'm going to flip back to the Nasdaq. I think we might be getting a little bit of a breakdown here. Yeah, I'm looking at a short setup here. Yeah. Oh, hold on, guys. One second. 1 second, guys. Ah, I've got my trading room coming in on the other side. 1 second. Sorry about that. That was my trading room, one of my guys. So what are you hearing on the NASDAQ now? Looks like it, I don't know if it's trading or not trading. It's trading. Where am I? I am right here. I have no access to the outside world right now because I'm in the TradingPub world. I can't monitor everything. So I see that this, barely ticking, but, I don't, I see my tick charts moving. So I'm actually depending on you guys for the outside world here. Okay. I did see that Apple had no options trading. So I'm depending on you guys for the outside world information because I don't have my news CNBC up or anything like that. So appreciate it. Okay, so we're not going to do anything here. So while we're doing nothing, I want to make sure I give you guys, as much as I can. I was seeing this as a short, and it looks like a short right here, but if it's not trading, if it's halting, I don't want to get into position. So here's our matrix that we'll use. And what you can see here, this is based on, you can put in any type of watch list you want. I've got this set up for the NASDAQ 100 right now. And so I've got every NASDAQ 100 stock in here. And I've got it, we have a matrix set from a scale of strength of 1 to 5, 5 being the strongest based on our trading model. And then I can set this to any time frame to scan. So I've got my scanner here set to the 1 minute, 5 minute, 15, 30, 60 minute, 4 hour, daily, weekly, monthly. And then what this allows me to do, then I also have it where a negative value means the probability is possibly to the downside and a positive to the upside. And then I have it color coded. When you see a green, that means that the potential is for this to break to the upside. And green also signifies a squeeze, a compression squeeze. So you can see, and then a minus indicates that the probability is to the downside. So we can look at this a -4. I can group this into 4 hour. I just press there, and then it brings all the most powerful 4 hour type trades to the upside. So here's ALTR. I can flip on to that. Let's see, I'll flip to that. Flips over to the chart. I can see it's in a 4 hour compression squeeze. So now I've got ALTR, which is Altera. I can go to the 4 hour chart. So let me do something a little different here. You guys, oh shoot, gold is breaking upwards. Yep. I want to see if we can catch part of that gold. Thank you for pointing that out. See it triggered? See the 133, it just triggered? I'm watching this on that pivot high extension. Pulled back from that pivot high extension at 1372.10. If it breaks out, I'll probably go long. You see all the bottom indicators are pointing up. Major compression squeeze on the 400. I haven't gone long yet. I'm watching it here. See this compression here? This is see how long this has been going on? 11:20 to 12. It's been over an hour. If this thing breaks above this pivot, this Fibonacci level here, at 1373.20. This thing has potential for a good move to the upside back up into this level here of 1373.90. So I'm looking at my lower studies. These are my upper studies. These give me direction, and these give me support resistance levels to trade off of, plus my compression squeeze indicator here. So I'm watching right here, this extension high. It starts breaking above that, I'm going to look to go long. And then I'm looking for this target up here at 1372.80. If it can break through that, it can really fly. But, you know, at this time of day, I'm just going to, if I get that trade, I'm just going to grab what I can grab. So I'll probably set, if it breaks through here, I'm going to go long around 1332, 20 to 30. I'm going to put a sell order in right around 1372.80. Be 6 ticks, $60 a contract. But, you know, usually I like to go at least for 10 ticks, $100. But, you know, I'm just trying to find a trade here. It just died. You go, okay. Pulling the trigger here. I'm holding off one more second here. You can see this starting to turn over a little bit. Let's try to poke through this extension high, but failed. That's why, you know, these are great visual tools that we have. You know, we have all this information here. You can just see it so quickly. The chart's still green, the background's still green, so the positive momentum is still up. Yeah, it's hard to find a trade. I like to, usually I'll monitor gold and the NASDAQ 100 and trade between those, and then crude too, but I prefer gold over crude. Crude can be just kind of whippy. Yen futures, they've been good, huh? Oh, um, man, it's just sitting right there on that pivot high extension. Okay, I'm going long gold. I'm long gold. I'm going to pull my stop up to about 4 tick stop loss because things are slow. And I'm going to look for this 1372. I'm going to look for a profit take right here about 1372, 60, 70. Give about 5 ticks. So I've got my profit target got set at 1372.60. I've got my stop down here at 1371.80. I'll put it at actually 1371.60. That's 4 ticks down. So actually kind of a one-to-one. I'll use a one-to-one a lot of times on day trading. Now we're coming into this resistance here. See, it's struggling, but I'm hoping we'll get a little bit of momentum to get back up here to this extension high right there. That's all I'm looking for. That's all I want. Please go there. 1372.60. That'll be 5 ticks, $50 contract, and that'll pay for lunch and dinner. Trading the December contract. GCZ3, correct. Correcto mundo. Okay, so you can see it's starting to slip here on this pivot high extension, came back down. I just got stopped out. So I lost 4 ticks. Let's see, what did I lose? Just no momentum fall through. Yeah, I lost 4 ticks, $40 contract. But see, it's sitting, it came back down to this point right here, and just sitting. So, you know, I think what you're going to actually see here later, I think that this will break to the upside. It's looking like it wants to, but it's going to take a while. See this compression squeeze? This is on a 400 tick. Now let me show you just longer term, the other things that I like to look at. Yeah, not much of a trend here. You can see very whippy, but I thought it was going to break when it triggered here. Thought we had a potential move to the upside, but you're right, that wasn't the best trade setup in the world. This is the December contract for gold. Now here's the scanner I was showing you earlier. Just kind of want to go through that while I have a little bit of time left. So I can see a squeeze here on the 4 hour, so I can flip over to, I can just click on this and it links to my chart. So I'll just click on this ALTR. I'm just going to show you some tools and the way we have some things. Now see the background color turn red? Now see this is telling me here that on the 4 hour time frame, it's in a major squeeze with a 4, which is a very strong potential for a good move to the downside. So I'm going to pull up my other time frames that I use for my swing trading, and I'll show you that real quick. Now the charts below, these are the time frames that I like to use for my swing trading, and I'll just kind of take you through this. But you can see how this is ALTR, so I can pull this up to a 4 hour time frame here. And so we just started this compression squeeze on ALTR right here. So we're just in the first bar. It looks very weak. You can see here on the daily, the indicators have all turned down. On the lower studies, had a big fall through push down here. We're on this extension low. So if it breaks here, this might be a good trade to the short side. And then what I would look to do is, you know, I just look to do a put spread. I would probably do a, you know, just an old-fashioned vertical put spread. So then I would look to see what the best values would be. We can do that real quick. So it's just starting to roll back over. See, it's breaking this extension low, pivot low extension. Just starting to roll back over on the lower steady indicators. Then what I like to do is I'll go down through to the lower time frames to see what those are looking like. And this is a potentially good short setup, guys. So the hourly is starting to turn over around that pivot low. If you break this area in here, I call this open prairie. There's not a lot of resistance or support below. That's the 1 hour. Looks pretty good. It's a 30-minute. Ooh. 15-minute. 5-minute. Starting to trend sideways a little bit. You can see the indicator starting to slope to the upside. So we may get a pull back into here. But if it fails, this could be a good short setup. So then what I'm going to look at is I would look at the options. So we can do that real quick here. So we're currently trading about 30, almost 34.5. This is ALTR. Let me get the other monitor up with the options. So it's just got monthly. So if this thing starts breaking lower, I would just look for, see if there's any kind of decent put spread to trade off of. It's a monthly, so you could do a just simple little trade. Let's see, what are we doing here? We're trading around 134. I mean, at 34. Well, the options, no, everything's still screwed up on the options. No volume, plus look at the bid offer spreads, so there's no trade here, so never mind. So back to the charts, let's see what else we can find. Just looking for trade ideas now. Okay, so I'm going to pull back over the scanner. So this gives you a really quick way to look for, screen for trade ideas. So we just, we're able to review that one. We can see that there's no option volume. It was, pretty bad on that. So I can just sort. So what I like to do is look at a squeeze on the 1 hour time frame and the daily. If I get a squeeze on like a 30, the 60-minute, 4-hour daily, all those together, then it's kind of like a domino effect. You have the shorter term time frame break, then that triggers the next time frame, which triggers the next time frame and the next time frame. So if you can get 2 or 3 time frames, these major time frames, in a squeeze together, it can give you a really good potential for a good move. Here's Intel, but I like the big high beta guys, Priceline, Apple, all the usual suspects, Netflix, all those guys. I'm just trying to find some examples here. See if there's anything on the daily. IWSA, what's that? It's too cheap. I like higher price stocks. I like stocks that are over, $60 or more. They have better movement. And so let me scan down here. So the 5-minute time frame. Oh, let's look at Google. Google. Google's in a squeeze on the 1 minute, 5 minute, 15 minute. So let's take a look at Google. I love to trade Google. NASDAQ is down totally. All right. No wonder we're in a squeeze on every time frame. It's not trading. All right, so much for that. But anyway, So it's a great tool. And then, I can just switch over. I go to public, I can go to futures. I can pull up all the futures contracts. I'm loading now. I can screen across thousands of stocks, all the futures contracts. So we can do that real quick. I can screen across, all the foreign exchange pair trades. So it's a really cool tool. And this is another thing that we've developed that we make available to you. So right now, let's see, what do we have? ZL. ZL's in a squeeze on the 60, but we don't even know if these things are trading, so it's kind of, so let's look at ZL. TBT is pulling back, so the bonds are going up. Yeah, let's look at bonds. So here is ZL, soybean. Here's soybean futures. Okay, so here, see the 5-minute time frame? Here's what I'm talking about. Here's a compression squeeze break to the downside. So on soybean, if you're a futures trader, I would put an OCO order right there to short it. You can see the bottom study indicators are down. And you could have gotten your short off at 42.97. Okay, question, who are we that developed? Okay, me, myself, and I. Larry Gaines, I developed the trading system. I've got another gentleman, his name's Hugh Bryant, and he is, we call him the smartest man in our trading room. He's a PhD in neuroscience from UCLA, and he's been a member of my service for over 2 years now. He's one of my first members, and I didn't know it at the time, but he stayed in there. He paper traded for 3 months, and then he started trading live. He's a great trader. And so he's also a computer expert, programmer, the whole works. So he took the system that I developed here that you're seeing the basics of, and he started doing all the coding. And so we've developed it to what you're seeing now using Thinkorswim. Now with Thinkorswim, it's a free platform, so you just need to open an account at TD Ameritrade, and then you can upload the platform. It's a tremendous platform. TradeStation, Ninja, all those are great platforms, but this is a really excellent one. We can do a lot of different kind of coding. So we can do the background colors, we can do a lot of different things, and then develop the scanner. We've got all these customized indicator packages. So a lot of different stuff, constantly working on it, constantly tweaking it. So here you can see, just based on our model, you can see the trend line break here. You can see that the squeeze broke to the downside on the 5-minute. And then let's look at the other time frames. So that's the 5-minute. Look at this. Here's the 15-minute. Also got a trigger. So what I was telling you earlier is that if you have multiple squeeze kind of setups where you have a 5-minute, 15, 30, once you have that earlier shorter term time frame trigger, it'll trigger the longer term. Then you get these real good movements down. So you've been a soybean trader today. You could have caught that move, short at $43, I guess a bushel. I don't trade soybean, but maybe I should look at it. And then here's 30-minute. 30-minute just triggered. See that? 1 hour. Okay, 1 hour still in a squeeze. This is a good one, and you're in the daily squeeze. So if you're trading beans, this is setting up for a big move. It's already starting to happen. So there's the 1 hour. Oh wow. So beans, this just got you into beans short at about $43 a bushel, and it looks like your next major support will be down around here. Now I also like to use Fibonacci extension, so I can just go through that real quick, and I can give you a support range based on Fibonacci. So I would just, put in here my fib levels. So it looks like soybeans, we just broke this pivot low extension, got triggered to the downside on a squeeze. So you can see your support levels will be right in here at 42.65. That's the 618. This should be a good support level. And then the next one will be down here at 42.29. But you can also see price action here, right there. So this is a good level. So be short from 43, cover down here at 42.65, 42.75, and that's a good little intermediate term trade. So the squeeze I'm using is what we call a compression squeeze. I don't know what a TTM squeeze is, but this is based on our model, and we call it a compression, our volatility compression squeeze breakdown. But see, we can identify it with these dots that we've got coded, and it shows you when it starts, shows you when it ends, and like I said earlier, if you don't want to trade a breakout for a breakout, it'll tell you, okay, let's don't look at this anymore to trade, because you're in this squeeze where it's just going to be very whippy, no trend to it, and you just get chopped around. Okay, well, any last questions? I think I'm up to my hour, and I hope you guys were all able to fill out that raffle. Did you guys all get that in there okay? Let's see. Here it is again. And come join us. We've got a great trading room, a good group of people, and they're teaching and coaching and mentoring. I've been doing this a long time, so I've learned a lot over the years. But one thing that I tell all of our members, there's no perfect system, there's no perfect trader, and it's a constant journey to learn. I keep learning stuff every day. So no matter how many years you've been trading, or how smart you are, or whatever, there's just a lot to the game. So you can never really master it. You can just try to do, a little bit better each and every day and keep learning. So that being said, really appreciate the opportunity to be here with you guys today. Thank you, Morgan. Pretty cool event, I must admit. And hopefully you guys will come check me out at Power Cycle Trading. Thanks again.
All right, very cool. Thank you, Larry. We appreciate you being here.